am Mallory Irvin. Welcome to Sweet Tea. It's so hot!
We traveled to Avery Island, Louisiana, home of Tabasco.
So I have 2 front porches and 2 side porches, but I don't have a back porch.
Have you ever seen a porch that'll make you swoon? Well, you're about to. We get into the Mobile, Alabama spirit in more ways than one.
This house does have ghosts, if that's what you want to call them.
If you don't like penguins, there's something. Yeah.
We're chilling with some aquatic artists in New Orleans.
We actually call this part of the beach the Emerald Coast of Florida.
Learn why Seaside, Florida makes the world take notice.
It's called SUP, but down here we refer to it as YOLO.
Hang 10 with us in Miramar Beach, Florida.
Me and Mallory Irvin just hanging out, slinging big.
Learn how barefoot and barbecue go together. We all know it can get hot in the South, but some would say it doesn't get any hotter than Avery Island, Louisiana. Just west of New Orleans, this drippy landscape is home to egrets, alligators, and of course, the world-famous Tabasco pepper sauce. Since the 1860s, every bottle of Tabasco has come from this, a pepper mash unique to Avery Island.
They all come from heirloom seeds from plants that my great-great-grandfather, Edmund McElhenney, discovered growing around the chicken coop.
These plants will be shipped to South America and other places all around the world to take advantage of extended growing seasons. Once harvested, the peppers are returned to Avery Island as a mash, where they are put in barrels, sealed with a salt cap, and aged for 3 years to perfection.
And now we're ready to make Tabasco with it. Now we're ready to use it to make pepper sauce.
Oh my gosh, it's beautiful.
Remember, our product only has 3 ingredients. There's red pepper mash, Tabasco mash, vinegar, and a little bit of salt that we put into the product when we put it in the barrel to let it age.
But before those other ingredients can be added, it has to go through a milling process.
It's so hot!
Then it's going to be strained, where all the seeds and pulp's removed.
And tell me what they're used for again?
The seeds are used for sent to Michigan, and they're used for pharmaceutical purposes.
Wow.
We make anything with pepper with heat, like Bengay, close-up toothpaste, Benzene gum,
Sinus medicine? I feel like I'm having some pepper spray in my face right now.
The vinegar is added and churned for up to 4 weeks. The vinegar acts like a natural preservative and takes on the flavor of the pepper over time. But just to be sure,
Each one of these huge barrels of 2,000 gallons has one little tester here that they take back into the lab and make sure that it's perfect.
over 700,000 glass bottles a day scurry through 4 different lines. The company uses glass instead of plastic because it's a better barrier against oxygen, which can affect the color and the flavor of the sauce. The bottles are sorted, capped, and labeled in 22 different languages.
We've seen Tabasco sauce officially made from the mash to the processing to the bottling, and here is the export system where they ship it all around the world.
In the shipping department, forklifts, pallets, and stacks of boxes cover the landscape. The 7 different flavors of Tabasco are now sold in over 165 countries and are even enjoyed by astronauts on the International Space Station. But maybe the pepper sauce's most impressive honor is that it's the only American-made condiment given the royal seal of approval from the Queen of England. People everywhere just can't seem to get enough Tabasco. You can buy it by the bottle, you can buy it by the gallon, you can ship it around the world, but no need to ship it to me because I've already found mine.
Help me.
Seaside, Florida. Just the name beckons visions of blue skies, emerald waters, and white sandy beaches. But these are no ordinary beaches along Highway 30A. We traveled inland to the lovely seaside home of 22-year resident Mr. Glenn Sewell, affectionately known as the unofficial mayor of Seaside.
That's unofficial, Mayor. That's exactly right.
Mr. Sewell, appropriately named, told us why these beaches and this community are so very special.
The sand is literally a sugar white sand, and as we call it, squeaky white. Along with the fact that you have this beautiful turquoise Gulf, we actually call this part of the beach the Emerald Coast. Seaside was extremely proud to be awarded Travel and Leisure's 2012 Best Family Beach in the World. And to the Seasiders, it's not really that surprising because the town was built as a beach community on one of the most beautiful beaches in the world.
Beyond the beauty and family enjoyment, there's even more to this 80-acre community than meets the eye.
Seaside was the very first community that was designed by Andreas Dewani and Elizabeth Platter-Zyberg, along with the town founders, Robert Davis and Darrell Davis. And it is what's become known as New Urbanism.
Architects, students, developers, and planners from around the globe have come to study this new town with old ways. It's literally a city filled with ideas.
New urbanism. It includes design features such as small streets and big front porches that really encourages a sense of community.
People come to Seaside and they try to figure out what's different about it. And they usually focus on the streets. You know, they usually say, oh, well, it's the brick streets. But it's not really that. It's the scale of the town, I think, that the streets are of a certain scale that causes you to sort of walk close to each other. It's all these sort of things that are subtly playing upon your experience when you're here.
Seaside is probably one of the most studied communities in America for what they were trying to accomplish, what we have accomplished. If you think about how this developed in the early 80s, Robert was way ahead of his game in terms of a livable, walkable community. You can be with anywhere within 4 or 5 minutes.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Oh, and in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
In 1996, Hollywood came to Seaside and filmed the Jim Carrey movie, The Truman Show. This was pivotal to the town's growth.
What it did specifically to Seaside, it brought in additional revenue to help build out the city, one of which was the Seaside School. It is the second chartered school built in the state of Florida. And the money generated at that school helped build the buildings and the classrooms that we see today. In addition, this beautiful park, which you'll see out front, Ruskin Place Park, was a result of the Truman Show. Truman's office was there, and after they tore down the stage, the homeowners rebuilt the park into the way you see it today.
Glenn, what are you doing? Unsweet.
You know, it's probably one of the more unique architect developments at Seaside. Some people are surprised when they see Airstream trailers under an extreme controlled environment like we have with the Seaside Coast. And Robert Davis, the founder, is very fascinated with Airstream trailers, and he's allowed these Airstream trailers to come in and serving some really neat and exciting what we call truck food. So we encourage everybody to come and try the different cuisines that are available on each of those Airstream trailers.
So we took up the mayor on his invitation and headed down to an Airstream favorite off the Seaside Town Square.
I'm Glenn Sewell in training.
Stay tuned, you won't want to miss what's coming up. In the early days of Seaside, owners building homes and architects building the community stayed in Airstream trailers. Today, trailers like this are very much a part of the landscape. Only now they house great walk-up food vendors selling everything from ice cream and hot dogs to healthy organic fare.
Welcome to Barefoot Barbecue. Me and Mallory Irving just hanging out, slinging pig.
Say hello to Barefoot Barbecue owner James Murphy, or Murphy as he's known here. He's serving up some awesome Southern, Caribbean, Texas fusion barbecue.
We're one of the busiest places in Seaside. You know, this whole Airstream concept started right about 92 when Robert Davis and Darrell Davis put the first one in here.
Well, I thought, how good can barbecue be, being from Kentucky, and I've had it all my life, but it is, oh my gosh. It's really good.
Thank you very much. You know, we work very hard on what we do. You know, all the meats that we use are all chemical free. We don't use anything that's ever had anabolic steroids, growth hormones, or any of the other terrible things people like to do to food. And you know, we stick to old school cooking tables. You know, I do my pork right about 24 hours, up to 31, depending on how big the batches.
And here's when I knew the real cook in him. I said, what kind of wood is that? Walked by and said, hickory? And he said, no, pecan wood, right?
What I found is that pecan wood, you know, being indigenous to Florida is one thing. It makes it very readily available. Secondly, it's very mild. It doesn't overpower the food. And I think a mistake that a lot of barbecue guys make, not that I don't make my own, is that, you know, smoke is one component and you just don't want to overpower it. It's one little component of what you're trying to accomplish.
I'm kind of getting the hang of this. Murphy better look out. Who knows? I might even have a new career in an Airstream. Hey, where is Murphy?
It's pretty good. I think our...
Murphy, get back in here and get to work.
Oh, I gotta go.
Great food and awesome atmosphere. The William Rogers House in Mobile, Alabama looks like any other home built in the mid-1800s. But when Jonna and Dick Rogers were about to move in, they knew there was something or somebody that never moved out.
I came into this house and the realtor looked at me like I had lost my mind, and I started talking to the house. We come in peace. We're here to be with you. We're going to make this house loving again. And she goes, "Are you nuts?" And my husband says, "Yes, just ignore her."
This house does have ghosts, if that's what you want to call them.
The Rogers say there are actually several ghosts who live here with them. And given the historical significance of this house, they have a good idea of who one of them is.
The third floor had a ballroom, and during the war between the states, or the War of Northern Aggression, as we like to call it, it was the headquarters for Admiral Buchanan. And that's where, allegedly, he planned the defense of the Battle of Mobile Bay.
150 years ago, the buildings weren't here, the oak trees weren't here, and you could actually see Mobile Bay from here. When Farragut came in to Mobile Bay, Buchanan, he was defending that, and he was actually mortally wounded in the Battle of Mobile Bay and died.
We say the general is walking to the third floor because leather shoes, you can hear the leather soles, they walk up the stairs. I've also had that experience in the afternoons, and I'm standing near the stairs and I'm thinking it's my husband scooting up the stairs, and I turn around to say something and there's no one there. I thought, I think I'll go downstairs now.
It wasn't long before word got around and paranormal investigators came calling.
This house is indeed haunted. We came here last year, conducted a paranormal investigation, and we caught several EVPs, electronic voice phenomena. And one of the first EVPs came in our preliminary setup. One of the guys on the team, he opened a drink and it made a fizz. Immediately after that, we caught a male voice as clear as a bell. And we asked several control questions, such as who commanded the northern troops during the Battle of Mobile Bay. And as we all know, Admiral Farragut did indeed command the Union Navy at the Battle of Mobile Bay.
Only the women that I know of have seen them, and my daughter is one of them. She walked out of her bedroom, and right there was a chair facing Buchanan's picture, and there was a man sitting in it. Grabbed hold to the arms and staring at Buchanan's picture. And that sort of startled her at 2 a.m. Who's a strange man sitting in her parlor?
It does sometimes get your attention, like when they come and move the bed and jiggle the bed when I'm in it. They did this many nights. I would be there and all the bed would start jiggling, and finally one night I just said, "You know what, if you don't leave me alone, I'll have you exorcised." The bed stopped, and it's never done it since.
But just like in the movies, this family stays in spite of the spirits.
Well, spiders and mice and things like that, I'll run, but no, this is just kind of interesting. It's nothing to be afraid of. It's just something, it's to me a part of life, and you embrace it or you leave, and I'm not going to leave this house.
To follow us on social media, check out our website, sweettea.tv.
This is my husband's barbecue sauce, Bailey's Original Root Beer Barbecue Sauce, made in Daphne, Alabama. It won 3rd place at People's Choice for the NBA National Barbecue Association Award. It's root beer based with a nice little tang to it. You can buy it in a multitude of different locations from Pensacola to West Mobile. We're been picked up by Fresh Market and hopefully on your table soon.
Surf's up in the Florida Panhandle, and we found that it's not just for the young anymore. It's called YOLO boarding.
YOLO boarding and SUP has changed this community. It's brought out a water culture, if you will. We've always had like surfing and regular prone surfing here and jet skiing and other water sports, but this has crossed all genres.
This version of stand-up paddling was born right here in Miramar Beach.
It's actually one of the fastest growing water sports right now. It's called SUP, but down here we refer to it as YOLO.
After being shown some basics, it was my turn to hit the water, hoping to not actually hit the water.
Lots of pressure. I work well under pressure.
And you know what? They were right. This is a breeze.
Like regular prone surfing was always kind of prohibited to everybody. It was something that the kids did when you were younger and you learned throughout the years. But with stand-up paddling and YOLO, it's something that anybody can jump on and do right away. Like a businessman who always wanted to be adventurous on the water without a boat, found this to be a great way to get out and explore nature and just kind of really get that sense of where he lives. The good thing about some of these boards, you can pack a cooler on them. You can basically pack your day's lunch or whatever and go and just cruise around and stop along the beaches, along the bay, and have lunch, and yeah, it's great.
If you want to hang 10, there's not that much to it. You just have to have the desire to try it. And after all, you only live once. New Orleans, known for its music, its people, its history, and its penguins?
If you don't like penguins, there's something. Yeah.
At the Ottoman Aquarium of the Americas, you can see and learn about everything from stingrays to otters, seahorses, and even sharks. Over 17 million people have been through the aquarium to view the 400 species of animals on exhibit. But there is one thing that you can do with the penguins that maybe you just wouldn't want to do with the other animals, and that's chill out with them.
There's always been a request, hey, could you go into the exhibit and take out a penguin? Could I get a picture of it? Could I touch one? We'd have a line coming out the exhibit door. So that was the place for this program.
Say hello to Cole and Voodoo, two warm climate African penguins you can actually go backstage to meet.
A lot of people have never handled a penguin or touched one, and this is a great opportunity to do so with some of our more friendly penguins that like people.
I found out these endangered penguins are a lot like us.
People like penguins because, they're kind of anthropomorphic in a way. It looks like a person walking around. If I put this penguin on the floor, it almost looks like a person walking. So, arms, legs. So people associate them and their gestures and their moods with people. And I guess it's kind of the cartoonish mystique of penguins that turn a lot of people on.
Including how they date.
Penguins mate for life? Is that true? I saw that on TV.
It's true the way people mate for life. There have been some dramas in the exhibit. And some,
especially with this girl here. Voodoo switched mates. Her older mate got kicked out by a young buck, and now she's with a new partner this year. So it's about an 85% fidelity. They always have one eye open. Is there something always better?
While they might not be Rembrandts, add some harmless watercolors and these two will show you their version of Happy Feet.
So you said I could ask anything I wanted to. Can I hold one?
Sure, yeah. Pick your poison.
Oh goodness. I'm gonna have to choose. Well, how do you guys choose?
They choose you.
Okay. Well.
No, actually that's a courtship thing. That's a
no means yes thing. In penguin.
Cole,
yeah.
Was it supposed to be for me? Are you jealous, Tom?
The head shaking
that means yes.
When his eyes say yes. You want a whole call, just let him sit on your lap like a cat.
Oh my God. Thank you. Oh my gosh.
By the way, the backstage penguin passes make really cool gifts. That's penguin for come see us. Stay tuned. You won't believe what's next here on Sweet Tea. There is nothing that defines Southern life more than porches. With their welcoming stairs, lazy seating, decorative accents, and of course, their sweet tea. Meet Miss Patty and Mr. Billy Dorgan. Porches played a part in their upbringing and their sweet future in the donut business along Mobile Bay.
My father had started Krispy Kreme here in Mobile. And then as time went on, my husband asked him one day for a job opportunity.
You know, when Mr. McAleer gave me the opportunity to go to work for him, he would come over at about 1 o'clock in the morning next door. He knew where I slept, and he would just wake me up and say, "Billy Joe, it's time to go to work," and he would take me to the Krispy Kreme in Mobile. Everybody grew up sleeping on the porch, and most of the porches were screened because, you know, of the mosquitoes and the varmints. And but it was delightful to sleep on the porch because of the bay breeze. I mean, we just thoroughly enjoyed the wind. So what we wanted to do was to put the 1800 homes back in the same, the way that they were designed and built back in the 1800s. And so I feel like that we've done that. So we've restored them back to their original use, that they were all just bay houses.
Yes, sir.
You know, and you'll find the flavor of this bay house all along the whole Gulf Coast, basically from Apalachicola, Florida, to Corpus Christi, Texas. You'll notice the Creole cottage architect is what is commonly referred to.
Not every porch here is the same, and they're not just pretty, they serve a purpose.
Back in the 1800s, they came up with this rain porch, which was really more like, in my opinion, more like a shed porch, because it would shed the water and the sun and the elements from the steps and the porch itself.
And you can never have too many.
We don't have a back porch. We have a bay front porch, and then we have a street front porch. You know, so I have 2 front porches and 2 side porches, but I don't have a back porch.
We don't have a back porch.
You know. So you can come by water, by boat, or you can come by automobile, or if you like, you can come by horse and buggy. You know, so just whatever.
No matter how you get here, come and sit a spell. Visit sweettea.tv to share a photo of your favorite porch and get information on how you can rent a cottage or 2 for your family gathering at the Dorgan Inn.
So from hot sauce to penguins, we hope you've enjoyed this Sip of the South. Thank you for watching, and please join us next time. I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them blue. So here I am in Mobile, Alabama at 3 George's Southern Chocolates, where apparently I'm about to learn how to be a master Southern chocolatier.
Located in the historic downtown district of Mobile, Alabama, 3 George's Southern Candies still embodies the great charm, rich diversity, and dynamic ideas it had when it first opened way back in 1917. That's when 3 friends got together and opened this famous old-fashioned soda and sandwich shop. And now, almost a century later, it's best known for its delicious Southern candies, sold and shipped all over the world.
Oh, I can't wait to make these!
Oh, here she is.
Man, you look great.
Are you giving away your secret recipe?
I'm not gonna give you all my secrets.
Oh, right.
Not
Okay,
all.
I didn't think so. Let's just bust it out. Tell me how to make them pralines.
Okay. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take our copper kettle. In this kettle, we add the brown sugar. Okay. We kind of add that here. We also add white sugar.
Okay.
Granulated sugar, that's simple thing. Mixing those together. Okay. We take our butter. We're gonna add half of our butter. Yeah, you can just add 1 piece.
Just half?
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Okay, and then you're gonna add your Cairo syrup.
Okay, I feel like I'm Pauline. Okay. Cairo syrup.
Cairo syrup.
Which is just like white syrup.
Yeah, it's just corn syrup. That's all it is. It's corn syrup. Okay.
These are gonna be good.
Mm-hmm. We're gonna take our wooden paddle here.
So
So you use a wooden paddle
Yes, ma'am,
and a
we
copper
do.
kettle?
Yes, ma'am.
Why is that?
It's the copper kettle because the kettle, it holds the heat evenly as we're cooking the candy. So, you know, if it's hot in one spot, it's not good.
Okay. Can I try?
You sure can, because if you want to eat candy around here, we all have to pitch in.
All right. Well, I've eaten enough candy to have to pitch in. Maybe I should get a job here, like full time, like forever, the rest of my life. As Nikki and Julius cook the pralines to exactly 282 degrees, I take a better look around the store with all the candies and chocolate. It really reminds you of a Parisian confectionery.
Hey, Valerie.
Really.
Would you like to try some of our southern favorites?
Yes, I would, Miss Nikki. Which one do I try first?
Okay, let's try the pralines that we just made.
Okay, I learned from the best. I want to eat another piece, Nikki. Okay, so do you have takeout?
We sure do.
Wait, so